Guys, how's it going? Welcome to Software Inc. Alpha 9. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day because I am certainly excited to be back and playing one of my all-time favorite games. I first played Software Inc. here on the channel back in, I do believe, August of 2015. Since then, I've done a few other series of this game, and today we're going to be jumping in and looking at the latest alpha, Alpha 9, which is available on the testing branch of this game on Steam. It brings new ways of doing marketing, it brings tweaks to the development cycle, and it brings distribution options to the game in a different way to what they were previously. Previously, you didn't have to handle any of the physical distribution of your products. Now you do, and it makes things very, very interesting because you now have to meet the demand. You have to supply, it's a game of supply and demand, and you can really mess things up if you don't meet that demand, or if you happen to supply too many units of a piece of software. It's very, very interesting. I'm very, very excited to go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing we are going to do is hit pause, and we're going to build ourselves a development studio. So we're going to come over to here. And we're going to build something that is going to be relatively simple. Simple is probably the word I was looking for there. I'd like to go ahead and do a little room there. That's going to be a little bathroom. And over here is actually where I'd like to put the main development room. So we're going to go 5 by... I'll do 5 by 7. I think that'll be totally fine. Then I'd like to make a room here, which is going to be a bit of a custom shape. It's going to go like this, and you'll see what that room's for in just a second. And I'd also like to maybe go ahead and maybe extend that one little bit further. That might be an idea. So we'll just merge those two rooms together and then add a little room just like, we'll go like that. That room's going to be for air conditioning. You'll see what this one's for in just a second, like I said, but let's go ahead and get all the doors that we're going to need here. So we need a door just there. We need a big door for the development room. We're going to need a door for the bathroom. We're going to need a door for that room. And also a door for that room just there. So that's all of the doors for the building. We're going to need to get some windows here. So I'm going to go ahead and get 3 of those little windows right at the front there. I'll get a couple of them just down the side here as well. And we can get 2 there, as well as 1 there, and 1 there. Beautiful. So that's all of the windows that I think we're going to need. We could maybe get one like that as well, I suppose, just to brighten up the entranceway of the building. Now with that done, we can go ahead and select the entire building. We're going to change the room colors. So the exterior is going to be very, very white. The floor is going to have sort of a sort of brownish tone there, which I think looks pretty decent. We can also change the construction materials. So the exterior of the building is going to have those sort of blocks on it. We could go brick. We could go the normal sort of flat walls. We could go for some paneling, but I really like those construction sort of block things there. Now, the interior walls, we're not going to worry about, though we could go like that, but I think that's a little bit much. And then the floor is just going to be that one because it's a bit of a wood pattern, and I think it looks really, really nice. So let's go ahead and change some of the colors of the rooms. I'm thinking that these two, the main entrance and the bathroom, can have a bit of a blue tone. That's the exterior walls. Let's change the interior walls to have a bit of a blue tone there. This room these 2 rooms here, actually, since they're going to be utility rooms, are going to have actually a bit of a gray interior. Maybe sort of what about like a dark green, actually? I think that looks kind of nice. That's almost sort of a... Is that close to olive? I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily like an olive green, but it's a dark green, and I kind of like that. This room here is going to have, I think, more of a... That's the exterior again. It's going to have a bit more of a cyan color inside, which I think will look pretty decent. Makes it nice and bright, and I like it. I really do. I think that's quite nice. I think I might also change the entranceway to have a bit of a different texture on the inside. We'll go for that kind of interesting one there. I like it. I do. I think that looks kind of fun. Okay, so... that's all of the colors and all of the walls sorted. We're going to need to go to furniture, so let's get some office furniture in here. I'd like to get myself a desk over here in the corner, so we're going to do that. We'll put a couple of desks just there as well. And we'll put a couple of desks here as well. We're going to get all of the desks in for any potential future employees. So if we do this kind of thing, that gives us room for 6 people, and we can also go and get cubicle walls, which can then be fitted between the desks like this, which means that these guys aren't going to be sitting facing each other. We can get them there as well to sort of nicely enclose the desks. And I think that looks all right. I really do. I think that looks pretty cool. We're spending a lot of money here. We are spending a lot of money, but I think that's okay. Now, I'd like to go ahead and select all of the cubicles in here. I would like to make the cubicles sort of a... Oh, that color's not bad. Sort of a darker version of the walls. That looks really nice, actually. I'm really happy with that. What about the desks? Do I want to change the color of all of those? I mean, I could make them white. Ooh, maybe a gray color? No, white. We'll go for white on the desks. We'll set that to be the default style. So there we go. That's going to be the main development room. So we're not going to bother spending too much money on other chairs just at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and just put one chair in there and one computer. That's going to be for me. We are going to need to get some temperature regulation in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look into getting just one radiator, and I'd like to put it just over there. We are going to need to get some ventilation, though. So if I switch over to function here, I can go to temperature and add an AC unit to that bit of the building, which is going to keep everything on this floor nice and cold. Now, the reason the AC unit has to be in its own room is because if it's in here, it's going to be quite loud and the employees won't like it. So that way, the entire building's going to be nice and cool, have regulated temperatures, but not be so loud that they really, really don't like it. Now, whilst we're in the function tab here, I'd like to scroll up to the top to this unnamed little ticker there, and I want to get some pallets. Now, pallets are incredibly useful. This is how you handle some of the distribution, which we are totally going to be doing. So if we head back to function for a second, we can get another table, which can go there. Head back up to the top and get ourselves a printer, and we can now print our own products. That's pretty cool. If I do say so myself, I do think that is pretty cool indeed. So let's get a toilet just in there. Let's get a lamp in the bathroom. Let's get a nice couple of lights into that room as well. And a couple of lights in there as well as 2 lights in the entranceway. Oh, and we can't forget to put some lights just back in here as well. Now, this one's going to be fine. It's not the most pleasant, but oh, apparently I can't put it that way. Okay, let's just do, can I do a light above the AC unit? It doesn't look like it. So let's just do a lamp there. So that room is nice and bright. I think this looks okay, though. I mean, again, we've spent way too much money on all of this. It's completely unnecessary, but I do think it looks really cool. Now, let's go to the common room tab here. Let's get a vending machine. Let's also get a water cooler, which I could put between there, but apparently employees can't get to it, so I'll put it there instead. Apparently, they still can't get to it. Excellent. They can get to it now, though. So apparently, they just can't get to the vending machine. What if I put a vending machine in there? I mean, that seems to work. I just imagine it's going to be a little bit loud, but I think that'll do for the time being. We have a water cooler over here. We have a vending machine here, so they can get food, they can get drink. They should be totally fine. They really should. Now, this room has an environment rating of 102%. That's totally fine as well. So I think at this point, we are good to run the simulation. I think we can get me over here working on some software. So let's run things. Let's go ahead and take a contract so we can get some initial money. We'll do a logistics application just like so. And let's get it done. We're going to go ahead and design the whole thing. Once we get to about there, we can promote it into alpha. And this is where you're going to see the first big change between previous versions of Software Inc. and this one. In previous versions of Software Inc., there would be a bar filling up here to tell you when you're done with the alpha. In this case, it's not as easy. It's not as easy as that. You don't get a bar telling you when you're done. Instead, you've got lines of code. And the lines of code are basically sort of a representation of how much work you've done on this. Eventually, you will be done with the product. Eventually, the character will stop coding because it's done. But you don't always have time for that. You can't always sit on something until it's done. So what I can do is I can say, review it. I can have the core team review it, which in this case is me. I can also have the client review it, in which case this is by Chicken Fan, I think. So I've done my review, and I have a high positive bias, and I'm only giving this a 3.6 out of 10. So that's not great. If we look at the reviews from these guys, there's a 4.5 with a medium negative bias. There is a 1.5 with a low negative bias. There's a medium negative bias with a 3.8. So it's not terrible. Well, I say it's not terrible. It's not amazing what we've made here, but it could be worse, I think is the gist of things here. So that should be fine. That should be totally fine. We can get this done tomorrow. We have 1 month left. So this is February 1980. It's now March of 1980, which means I'm going to come to work. I'm going to finish Chicken Fan. About, let's say 11 a.m. we'll promote it into beta. So about there, we'll get this promoted. And we'll get as many bugs out of it as we can before 3:30 p.m., at which case we will release it to the client, and hopefully we've done a pretty good job. So there's about 3:30, release, $7,000 given to me there for that contract. Might not have been very good, but it'll do the job. So I'd like to go to team management for a second. I want to change my departure time to 5 p.m., so I work from 8 until 5. My vacation is going to be in July, even though I'm not going to take one because I own the company and your own character never takes a vacation, which is accurate. I don't take vacations myself. So, you know, this is a fairly accurate simulation of my life. Sitting at a computer even when I'm sleeping, never taking vacations. That hits home quite well. Okay, so there's no point in taking another contract at the moment because my character's just headed home and we would have only had the 1 month to deal with it. Now that we're in here, or we're about to get to work, we can take another contract. We're going to go ahead and take this logistics application. We can confirm that, and it's for the Pit Corp. So we're going to come in. We're going to start working on that. We're going to promote it. We're going to get as many lines of code done as we can. We might actually be able to do this in a day. So let's promote it and release it at 4:30 p.m. and just see how much money we get for this. Because we leave at 5. We've got up until about 4:30 to do this. So release, and there we go. £6,000. No problem. We're almost back up to the £30,000 that we started with, which is pretty cool, actually. That is pretty cool. We are spending about $1,000 a month on electricity, though, I think. Is it $1,000 per month? Can I look at my finances? No, that's the stocks in my company. I'm not particularly interested in looking at that. Oh well, doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and take another contract for another logistics application because we can easily get that done in a day, which is going to bring the amount of money that we have in the company up to nicely above £30,000, which would be absolutely wonderful. So there's noon. Let's promote this. And then about 4:30 p.m., we'll go ahead and again release it to the client. 4:30 p.m. is right there. Release. Not bad. I mean, it wasn't great. The client wasn't entirely pleased with it. But we now have made a profit, basically, which is beautiful news. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hire someone. I'm going to get a new employee because I'm quite good at quite a few things, but I would like to get other employees that are good at other things. So we'll get a computer in there. We're going to go ahead as well and just add a table cactus there. I'd like to add a clock to one of the walls so that we can get a little bit of a boost to the, I believe, the efficiency? Yeah, the effectiveness gets a boost when you have a clock on the wall. So we'll put that there. We can get a boost to skill if we put in a bookcase, which I'll put in the corner there. And that should be totally fine. So let's, is there anything else I can add? I can add things like a phone if I want to give a skill boost to a marketer. I can add a drawing tablet to boost an artist. I can add a calculator to boost programmers, and then an inbox sort of boosts leaders and designers a little bit, as well as marketers, actually. So there's things like that if I want to give specific boosts to certain things, but I don't know if I want to do that just yet. I mean, it is worth noting, if I go ahead and look at my employee, myself here, and look at my skills, I'm not amazing at a lot of things. I'm not good at leading. Leading isn't something I can do. But if we look specifically at me, I can look at my details and I can see that, for example, I'm actually not very good at 2D anything. 2D code is where I suffer. Then network design I'm pretty bad at. I can give myself some training if I want to. If I wanted to train myself up in 2D code, I absolutely could, and I'm very tempted to do so. I could probably afford to do so as well, because what it will do is it will just skip time forward, basically, because I'm the only employee. So if there's no employees in work at all, what's going to happen is it'll just skip until there are. So I think I want to give myself some training. So programming, I want 2D, I want 3 months of education. We'll start that, so it should skip from May 1980 until, September. 1980. So we are down money a little bit, but we're okay. What I should now have is a lot more skill in 2D. Yeah, 2D code is way up there. It's maxed out. Network design would be something to go for as well, but we can just hire an employee that can do that. So let's do it. Let's hire an employee that can do like network design or something. So let's go to hire employees. We're looking for a designer for network. We'll give them £1,500 a month. We're looking for skill, specialization, and personality. We're going to spend a decent bit of money looking for them. And if we look at skill, we have Moises Christensen, but you would have normal compatibility. So Chris Casey, you have great compatibility. We're going to go for you. You're not much of a coder is my worry. Definitely not much of a coder, but we could fix that if we wanted to. We could train you up in code, but for the time being, you are mostly going to be a designer. So we'll take a chance. We're going to hire Chris Casey. Obviously, we have limited funds, but what I can do to make sure that he isn't going to damage the code is I can actually go to the details of the core team, and I can say that Chris Casey, you are going to be only doing design. That's all you're going to do. You're a decent designer. You're not amazing, but you have got some specializations, so we'll see what happens. So he'll come into work in October of 1980. For the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and take some contract work. We're going to take this logistics application here. We'll give that to the core team, and we'll immediately go to work on it. So I'm going to just go ahead and promote that. We should be able to get plenty of lines of code done today because I'm a little bit better at that 2D, whatever it was, 2D programming. Let's go ahead and promote it because we might as well. Then once again, at 4:30 p.m., we can go ahead and release... Oh, I released that a bit early, but I still got the money, so that's fine. Bit of an accident there. Didn't really mean to release it, but no worries. I do think I'd like to work on releasing my own software fairly soon. I really do. I want to release something like a 2D editor or an audio tool or something really simple. I'm thinking an audio tool is probably the simplest because it's audio playback and music editor. The problem is that recommends 3 programmers. So that's a tricky one. That is a tricky one. We would also need to use a 2D editor. So let's make a 2D editor instead. So a 2D editor with all of those things recommends artists, recommends 2 designers, which we technically have. 3 programmers we don't have. But I'm going to hope for the best. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to try and put this on the most recent operating system, which is the Pen. The problem is it's not very good. We have the OS 5, which has 6.7 million active users. So that seems like it would be one to go for. I mean, the license is quite expensive, but I think the OS 5 is probably the one to go for. So we'll buy the license to use the OS 5. This 2D editor is going to be $59.99. That's okay. It's going to be a default 2D editor. The product name is going to be NERDROSOFT Vision. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned that my company's called NERDROSOFT, but it is. So NERDROSOFT Vision is going to be the name. We're going to develop it, and we're going to hope for the best. Now, we are going to take some contract work whilst we're working on this, so I am going to go immediately to contract work. I am going to immediately take a logistics application, and we'll get that done. I'm actually going to up the priority of the logistics application just to make sure that we can actually get it done first. So there's a new employee in. We are doing a pretty good job on the design of that. Then the code is going to get done for that. I'm actually pretty much aware that this guy's only going to be working on NERDROSOFT Vision at the moment. That's actually okay. Let's promote this logistics application and then release it at about 4:30 p.m. as we usually do. There we go. 5,760. We're back up above £30,000. We are really going to need to stay on top of the contract work, though, because we are now paying for another employee. So we'll accept this. We'll get it done as soon as we possibly can. Give that a bit of a promotion. Get the lines of code done, please. Oh, this is nearly done. That's going to be promoted. Now my designer is going to be doing nothing. which is a little bit annoying, if anything, because there isn't really anything for him to do. I'm the only one working on the lines of code for anything, which kind of has me thinking that I might just have him do anything. He's not very good at coding, but it would be better than having him do nothing at this point, especially this early in the game. So we're going to take a chance, and you are going to be doing anything. You're going to be doing any role, which means you are going to be doing some coding. Hopefully you don't mess things up for me, but you might. You definitely might. We'll see. We'll certainly see. Let's go ahead then and... Oh, we need a marketer. We definitely need someone that can market this, because if we don't have a dedicated marketer, then what can happen is we can absolutely end up with something that's absolutely amazing in terms of software, but because there's no one marketing it, no one knows about it. So we're gonna have to be thinking about that. I might actually take a loan to get the company off the ground. That might be an idea. But for the meantime, let's take an embedded system here. We'll accept that work. We can make that a high priority piece of work right there. So promote that. Let's get as many lines of code done with this as we possibly can. Oh, what did that say? Chris Casey is working on art for NERDROSOFT Vision, but is not competent in art and might delay the release and ruin the art. Well, he better not. He'd better not do that, because that would not be a good thing to do. We'll promote this. We'll get it released at 4:30 and hope for the best. There we go. That's not bad. We're still making a profit, and that's all I'm concerned with. That really is all I'm interested in. As long as the company is making money every month, even if it is just with contract work, even if it's with contract work that we're not doing very well, as long as we're making money, that's all that matters. So take another contract there. Let's get this promoted. Then once again, we're going to promote it at about 1 p.m., which is there. And we will release it at 4:30 p.m. as we usually do. So 4:30 p.m. is right there. Let's get it done. So 5,314. So we're making money, basically. We're doing all right, which is beautiful to see. So let's go ahead and get some initial reviews of NERDROSOFT Vision. We'll get the core team to do it. We'll see what the people working on it happen to think of the piece of software. Not entirely sure why there's 3 reviews of it at the moment. So the 2D art is pretty bad, which is annoying. The 2D code isn't amazing. So fair enough. Hopefully we can fix that. We are going to need to spend a while on it. It is annoying that the 2D code isn't great. I might get Chris some training. That might be an idea. Because if we go and educate Chris, I mean, he's not good at much. But if we get him some education in 2D code, that might be a good idea. Same with art as well, like 2D art is probably something worth looking into. So let's get him educated in 2D art for a month. Or 2D programming for a month. So 1 month of 2D programming will bring his skill up just a little bit. So start that education. As for me, I'm pretty good at most things, so I'm going to be alright working on this on my own. I also realized I didn't take any contracts today, so today is going to be a day where we just lose money, but that's okay. We are spending money to make money. That's how this kind of thing works. That's life. That's business in general. People want something for nothing. People need to learn that you spend money to make money. That's how these things work. Let's work on an embedded system. And we can hopefully make it very, very good. So promote that. We'll work on it until about noon. This isn't actually going to be very good at all, this embedded system, but we should still get money from it, which is the important thing. So let's work on it once again until 4:30 p.m. I know that this is getting very samey. I know every single time we have people in here, it's like, oh, we're going to work on it until 4:30 p.m. But what was that? But we can totally make this work. I absolutely have faith that we can make this work. I really do. So there's a cleaner coming in to fix things. Chris is going to be coming back today with his new education. which is beautiful stuff. So we look at manage employees. Chris Casey, you have a bit of education in 2D code, which is what I want to see. Let's get you educated in 2D art as well, because you're not very good at it. So 2D art, start the education, and we'll hopefully be all right. Now, if we do some team reviews of this, the story should be a little bit of a different one, in theory. Why are they... Give me a 4th review. Or don't. Okay, end. Yeah, story's a bit of a different one. Chris Casey has a very high positive bias, but it's coming along. Like, the quality in general is not as bad as it was. So that's not bad. That is very good news. So we'll get you trained up in 2D art as well. Come on, let's get this done, lads. Come on. Let's make stuff happen. Let's make NERDROSOFT Vision the best piece of software that has ever released in the history of everything. We're also going to make another piece of logistics software here for McCowtweek Corp. Yeah, that's a great company name right there. That's an amazing company name. Let's promote that. Let's get as many lines of code done as we can before about 1 p.m. There we go. And again, going to release it in the usual time frame. Get it done in a day. Get plenty of money. Release it. We're above 40,000 pounds. We're making money. We're making money. Let's take another one. And let's get that done. Chicken Carrot. Because of course. Because... What are these names? They're ridiculous. Promote. There we go. Oh, that's going up quickly. Jesus, that's going up quickly. Not bad. Promote. All the bug fixing being done there. Oh, I'm okay with this. I think we might have a really good duo here. Oh, that didn't give me much money. That didn't give me much at all. So how's this doing? Let's get more team reviews here. I'd also like to get some outsourced reviews, which is going to cost me some money, but that's fine. End those. So the outsourced reviews are actually pretty good. Like, yeah, there's a few 4.0s, a couple of 3.7s, but generally, I mean, the art is what's suffering at the moment. But that's not bad. I am actually quite pleased with that. So let's take another bit of contract work here. Yeah, I am actually really pleased with that. I really, really am. So that's good news. We might have a really good piece of software on our hands. The downside, of course, is that we don't have anyone that can actually market it correctly. So as much as it might be a good piece of software, no one's going to know about it. Oh, there we go. Back above 40,000. Not bad. So we should have Chris coming back in today to get his reviews done, if you wouldn't mind. Let's make that a higher priority. Come on, get your 4th review done, mate. There we go. That's not bad. Yes, they have very high positive biases, but that's not bad. I'm excited for this. I will admit, I have never spent this long in Alpha 9 on any piece of software. Not this early in the game, anyway. I've played a little bit of this. If you've been following me on Twitter, you'll know that I have been playing a bit of this. I did originally record a couple of episodes of this, but I had some issues with the recording. Even in that, I never spent this long on any piece of software, so this is actually kind of exciting. I'm excited to see if we can make something really good here. I'm also thinking that I really do need to hire a marketer. I really do. Like, there's nothing else to it. I need to hire a marketer for this. The problem is I don't want to put them all in the same room because staff can get really annoyed about that. So I'm not really sure where to put a marketer. I don't know if I want to have them walking through like this room here. I mean, I just don't know if that's a good idea. I could buy a little bit of land if I wanted to. But I think I might just have multiple teams sharing one room initially. I think that might be the way things have to work here. Because we do need a marketer. Especially moving the software forward. So we're going to get that there. We're going to go back to here. Manage teams. Marketing is going to be the name of the team. So add that. Then we need to hire someone that can do marketing. Basically, we're looking for a marketer. We're going to offer them the top salary. We're going to spend as much money as possible looking for them. What's the highest skill? Highest skill is Shirley Price with a skill of 100%. Shirley? I mean, you might You might retire in 4 years, but you are amazingly good at marketing. Now, this guy, Jackson Ramirez, not as good, but can do designing, which is interesting. But no, we are going to have Shirley Price doing some marketing for us. So you are going to be hired. There we go. Not bad. So let's go ahead and I'd like to assign this computer to me. An employee is stressed. Yeah, that's fine. Assign that furniture to me. Assign that furniture to me. Why are you not working? Oh, that's why. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. So Shirley's going to come in today at 8 o'clock. There we go. There's Shirley. I'd now like to go ahead and say that we want to market this. We're not going to put out a release date. We are going to put out a press release, though. So we're going to spend a bit of money. We're going to spend a lot of money, actually, on this press release and give it to marketing. So get that marketed. It's going to take a while to put together a press release, but that's fine. I'd like to take some contract work just to make up some money that we're going to be losing here. So we'll do that. We can up the priority of it as well, just to make sure that it's being done correctly. Promote it. Let's spend as much time on this as we possibly can, up until about 1 p.m. And we'll go for the usual cycle of releasing it at about 4:30, and we'll hope for the best. Now, we are not going to be making as much money as we have been. Obviously, we have just hired a third member of the company staff. But that's fine. That is totally fine. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of a team review. I'd also like to get some outsourced reviews, but not too many of them, so I don't spend too much money on the outsourced reviews. There we go. This guy loves it. Okay, this is actually really exciting. What are the team reviews? What do these guys think of it? End? Ooh, okay. I reckon it's probably time to move it into beta. I reckon it's probably time. Let's put out the press release. That got us 132 followers. Promote this into beta. We can obviously keep working on it. But what we can do now is we can send out press builds. So if we go and say that we'll send out some press builds, we can also start hyping it via the marketing team. So hopefully Shirley can do some good stuff. Or not. She's still asleep. I mean, she is, what, 56? So, I mean, that's 56 isn't that old. Don't know why. Oh, she's 56. She's bloody ancient. No, like, 56 isn't that old, really. Not these days, anyway. I mean, back in, like, the mid-1800s, 56 is bloody ancient, but, I mean, it's only 1981, so I don't think I should be having a go at 56-year-olds. Right, here's my question. Upcoming releases. I'm looking for 2D editors. There aren't really any of them. There is a new operating system coming out in this December, which we're probably going to want to immediately port NERDROSOFT Vision over to. But I think we'll be alright for the most part. So we are going to lose a bit of money today. That's fine. We have got a decent number of followers and rising on that software, which is beautiful news. Let's do a bit more marketing. Let's put out a press release with just text in it. Just to say that we're doing all right. We're doing some good stuff. Let's also take a bit of a logistics application there and hope that we can do this. We don't have as much time to do this as I'd like, but that should be fine. Promote it. Then promote it. And again, release it. I just want the money. That's all I'm after. I just want the money to make sure I'm not losing a bunch of me funds. That was okay. Oh, wow. This is actually getting a lot of followers. That's really good. This is really good news. I've never seen anything like this thus far, so this is really exciting. Let's see. Do I want to start printing copies? I don't know if I do. I don't know if I do want to start printing copies. Let's see. Let's take another contract. So that, ooh, getting some decent contracts here. Let's take that logistics application. Once again, just to make sure that the company is going to stay afloat. I'm sincerely hoping that NERDROSOFT Vision is going to make us some serious bank. Because if it does, then I can finally stop taking contracts and I can expand the company a little bit. This is always the thing with Software Inc. If you're new to this game, then you'll not be aware of what can happen. But if you have, like, a killer initial app, like if your first application, your first piece of software is utterly incredible, then you can do some really good stuff. Let's go ahead and release this press release. That brought the followers up a little bit. I want to announce a release date. And that release date is going to be March of 1982. So we have all of January, we have all of February, then we release. Let's also make a logistics application, once again, to make sure that we are bringing some money into the company. Now, Shirley's doing some hyping. She's not doing a very bloody good job of it because we're losing followers. Market, send out another press build. Then, again, promote this at about 1 p.m. just there. And hopefully we'll do some really good stuff with this this particular piece of software. Let's get it out to the public. Well, not the public, but to the client. There we go. That's fine. So we're up to 7,500, like 8,000 followers. Ridiculous. Okay, it's February. We have a release date. Let's send out... No, not reviews. Send out another press build. Send out press builds every month. We're not going to take a contract this month. There's no point taking a contract this month because this month it's crunch time. It is crunch time. We are not taking... Oh my god, I'm really excited. This might be really good or it might be terrible. It might not work. Oh man, 12,000 followers. Okay. It's release time. It's release time. Yes, we're going to start a marketing campaign. That marketing campaign is going to have a budget of £5,000. We're going to say okay on the marketing campaign. We do need to print copies. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to print 15,000 initial copies, which is going to cost me £18,000. That's really risky. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a contract here. Just so that if this all goes wrong, we don't immediately drop dead, basically. Okay. This could be rough. This could be really rough. I'm scared, is what I am. I'm a little bit scared. But I'm also excited because NERDROSOFT Vision had a lot of people anticipating it. A lot of people were looking for it. It's currently a minus £3,001 because we've marketed it post-launch. It is going to make £559,000. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see that. We sold almost all. We have no units in stock. We sold every unit. It's good quality. It is sparse marketing. Like, no one's marketing it. There's no marketing. We need to order more copies. We need to order more copies. I'm ordering 100,000 copies. That's what? 10,000? That's 100,000. 120,000 pounds. We're spending 120,000 pounds to get 100,000 copies of NERDROSOFT Vision. You know what's more? It isn't currently ported to the latest operating systems. And I mean, the latest operating systems don't have that many users. But if we go ahead and port this to, you know, these 3 operating systems, that seems fine. That seems like a good idea. So port that to those whilst supporting it. And we're going to make even more money because it's going to be on new systems. Now, what I can also go ahead and do is change the budget for marketing and say, hey, you don't have a budget anymore. You can spend as much money as you want marketing this. Now, I am curious. We do need to call IT support. We'll get on that. Let's call maintenance, call cleaning, call IT support. I also want to hire a courier because they'll show up once a day and pick up any products that I've printed in storage, which I do believe is a better way to do the printing thing. I believe we can save a little bit of money on product production because we can print them ourselves. So if we start printing this, we will... There we go. So we can print up to 24,000 per month, which is fine. That's not as many as we'd necessarily like, but that's fine. So there's everybody coming in to fix stuff. That should be all right. This is IT support waiting for a computer to be free so we can fix it. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. How much are we going to make? We have a lot of copies of this software in storage. What are we going to do? Please don't tank. 1.6 million! Oh, I did it! I did it again! I did the classic Software Inc. thing. The classic Software Inc. thing. It's like, hey, this is your first piece of software and you have made... Oh, I love this game so much. I really do. Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh my god, there goes any challenge. There goes any challenge that we might have had. Oh, wow. Oh, 2 million in profit on our first piece of software. Where does that put us in the company chart? So I am a new company and I'm already one of the most valuable. I mean, sure, Kickshow and Slide Corp have over $1 billion in worth. But I mean, that was my first piece of software. Oh my god. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I really am so happy. So the couriers come in there to pick up all of a bunch of stock. So anything that gets printed, he's going to pick it up between now and I believe noon. Then he buggers off to take it to the stores. There's the courier's van right there. So yeah, he's off to take the products to the stores. Oh my god, we've made over 2 million on our first piece of software. Unfortunately, we now don't have the tech support behind us to actually look after the software. There's like over 330 support tickets. We're gonna miss quite a few of those. Did we just get another 1.6 million? Oh my god, I'm so happy. Oh, wow. Order some copies. Give me 50,000 more of them. That's ridiculous. Man, I am so happy. I'm so happy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it there for the first episode. Oh, this game was supposed to be a challenge. I'm going to leave it there for today, ladies and gents. Thank you again for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to like the video. If you disliked it, dislike it. Share it on social media with all your friends. And with that said, thank you again for watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.